Hello everyone, in this video we're gonna create a CLI tool in Rust that is similar to the GitHub CLI tool without the real functionalities. We're gonna name it GitHub Killer. So first create this GitHub Killer tool. So cargo new GHK, and I want it to be a binary, and then cd into it and open your preferred editor. So we have the cargo toml that contains our info and dependencies, and the main .rs with the main function. We can say cargo run, and it should print hello world. Awesome. Now we need to add the clap. So we can say cargo add clap. This will parse in the command line arguments, and I like to have the derive, if I can write it correctly, the derive feature, so that when we parse those, the clap will fill it in a Rust structure. Awesome. So now we want to create our top level structure. So we can say struct CLI, and it's gonna be empty. First we will make this structure to derive the parser, and now we have the parse functionality. So you can say let CLI to be equal to CLI and parse. So this will parse in the arguments from the command line. Awesome. And now we're gonna create our ghk.rs, the GitHub killer, and say pub enum ghk. Now as you can see, we have a warning that it's not included, so we can go to our main.rs and declare it as a mod. So on the ghk, you want to have multiple commands, but for now one command is gonna be enough, which is the PR command. We want to manage our PRs. So if we open GitHub CLI, we can see like gh, we have here multiple commands. PR is one of those. So, or auth. So all of these are variants to our enum if we wanna map it to the clap Rust terminologies. So we can say, for example, auth. So now if we run, say cargo run, nothing should happen. Cargo run. Awesome. Nothing happened. Why? Because we're parsing the CLI, not the GHK. So what we can do is here we can add the command. It's of type GHK, and mark that as a subcommand to our CLI. It will start nagging, so to solve that we can derive the subcommand from clap, and all is good. Now run again. We have the PR command and the auth command. And now we can add, for example, help messages using the 3/. Let's see, here we can say manage pull requests, and here we can say, let's see, auth, login, logout, login or logout. So if we run that again, the cargo run, we can see our documentation messages. Awesome. Now the PR itself in GitHub, so if we type in ghpr, it has the create command, the status command, the list command. So we should do the same as we've did here. So let's jump right in and say we have a pr.rs, and also declare that as a mod here, and say pub enum pr. We're gonna say create a PR and list PRs. Now inside of GH we can open up our curly braces and say we have a command here. It's of type PR, but we'll start nagging because we should mark that as a subcommand here and derive the subcommand here. Awesome. Now let's run it. We can't see it here, so we can ask for the help message of the PR. To do that, we can't say PR, or we can say PR and then help. So now we have without help it does work. Yeah, so as we can see we have the create and the list commands. So we can start by writing in some documentation for this variant or subcommand. List pull requests. But now if we let's first look at the commands. Yeah, the documentation is working. But now if we want to run any of those, nothing's gonna happen. So what we can do is we can, for example, implement the PR, implement on the PR a function called, for example, exec that takes in a reference to self and match over it. So now we have two variants we want to handle in this match. So say PR create, we want to print PR created, and on PR list we want to print line list of PRs. And now we should also do the same for the GHK. We can implement over the GitHub killer a public function exec that takes in reference to self and match on self. We have the GHK auth that's gonna print line trying to auth authenticate and GHK of PR. As you can see here, this case of the enum contains data, which is the command of type PR. So you can say PR, the command, this one of type PR dot exec. So it works recursively. This exec is gonna call the PR's exec. And finally, inside our main, we can say CLI dot exec dot command dot exec. And now if we say cargo run auth, trying to authenticate, and if we say cargo PR, it's going to display the help message, cargo PR create. Let's create a PR created. So basically here, if we are building the real tool, here we can call in the function that does the API request or reads the token from some file and create a pull request. Now basically if we look at the real tool, we can see that it takes in flags, for example the draft flag or the title to give this PR a title. To do that in Rust using clap, we can open a curly braces for the create and give it some data. So if we can say title should be a string and the draft should be a bool. Now this won't work because we want to mark the title as arg, and we want to say that it has a long version and a short version. Do the same for the boolean, and here we go. Now this is complaining because we should do the same as here. We should handle these data. So if we don't want to handle it, we can say two dots. But here we want to handle it. We want title and we want draft. So PR with title is created, and it is a, and the draft status is draft, semicolon. So now let's say cargo run PR create. It's gonna fail because the title is mandatory. The draft isn't mandatory. It will default to false. So we can say, let's see the help message. We have options, title, draft. We can put in some docs. PR, the PR's title. Mark the PR as a draft. Let's run it again. The docs are working. We can now write cargo create title hello. PR with title hello is created and the draft status is false. Now we can pass in like a draft flag. It's true. We can pass in the short version -d or the short version for the title -t. And here is it. You have a functioning tool that's similar to GitHub minus the API calls on the GitHub platform. And thank you for watching.